Okay, so hello everybody. Um, this is my UDNA portal video, and I will highly suggest uh, everybody that made ancestry DNA or even 23&me result to upload the result in this site that will give you different type of admixture. To me, this site is way more consistent than gedmatch itself or other site that I use with. This site gives you really good insight about the other ethnicity that the other company couldn't pick up or couldn't probably just put in. So we're gonna quickly see my result. But before saying my result, I have to let people know what I am. So and my mother's side, I am Cuban and Haitian. That's what I know from my mother's side. And from my father, I am Bahamian, African American from his father's side. And from his mother, I am Jewish, 100% Ashkenazi Jewish. That's from what I know. So we gonna go right now, and we just gonna look uh, basically my result. I'm not gonna go too deeply about what it says and everything. I'm gonna let you guys just look, but so they explain exactly that the genetic ancestral sample population method that we use, we have collected a large range of population sample to compare your genome to from public, private, and exclusive source. So they already had certain type of samples, and so with these samples, what they do is they match to see where yours genome match with theirs, and it can give you approximately 50% of your children for each parent. You enter a random session of, so they explain you that basically the way you receive your genetic and how they do to tell you who you are. So I decide to pay for the pig one, which is really a mixture for the people that is mixed, that have like me, African and other type of inner city, and so this is what I chose. It cost me $25, which is a fair price, and for the result that I received, and it kind of like really helped me to figure out the missing puzzle piece that I always wanted to know. So my main oracle run, this say that this mathematical setting divide your genome into 200 fragments, which each fragment represents zero point 0.5 of your genome. This enabled to capture an identification of even the most distant origin. Sorry, because my language is, my first language is French, so my English is not all of that. But basically, those are, separate by zero point 0.5, and they got Afric Tucker Kingdom, Afric North Culture, Celtic Breton, Levant Philistine, North Caucasus, Tuareg, Baltic, Shamar India, Golden Horde, and Iberian. This is my ancient. So plus, this is not really like the current moment where we speak. This is what for the whole days, what my ethnicity wear, what my grandparent wear, or my ancestor. So basically, they show you how to break down this. They show you pretty much everything there. So I'm gonna give you a moment, guys, to look up. I got Africa, Tucker, Celtic Britain, Living Philistine, North Caucasus. So pretty much, a little bit of everything, a little bit of African, a little bit of, Eastern Europe, Central Europe. I got India, I got Iran, so Iberian, all of that is there. So when we go down, this showed you, they give me 35 for Africa, Tucker Kingdom. Then they give me Africa North Crystal 21%, Celtic Britain 19%, Levant Philistine 9%, North Caucasus is 4.5%, Tuareg 4.5%, and Baltic 2.5%, Shamar India 2.5%, Golden Horde 1%, Iberian 1%. So this is, for the my oldest ancestry, and they have oracle that can be breaking into 1, 2, 3 to 4. And this, we're going to the second oracle run, which is say that this mathematical setting divide your genome into 20 fragments, which each fragment represents 5% of your genome. By not focusing on the most distant ancestry, it offers an excellent and balanced estimate of NC with a lower margin of error. So there is it. At first we was with a whole set of ethnicity, but more that we go to Oracle, more they get more specific and they break down more into what I am. So there is Africa Attacker Kingdom, Celtic Britain, Africa North Culture, Alanic, Balochi, Astal Set, Levant Philistine, Nilotic Kenya, and Teresian. So when we go down again, they showed you how they break it down a little bit, you know. So yeah, again, we still got the same a little bit. We got African, we got Celtic, Britain, we got a lot of Iranian influence in there, and you know, Levantine, Philistine, Greek, you know, and Kenya, Teresian. So we still have the same amount, and they go ahead and show 45% for Africa Attacker Kingdom this time. Celtic Britain stay at 15%, Africa North Culture 10%, Alanic 5%, Balochi 5%, and Celt 5%, Levant Philistine 5%, Nilotic Kenya 5%, Teresian 5%. So more that we going, like I say, more that they break down. Now we at that third oracle run. They say that this mathematical setting divide your genome into 10 fragments, which each fragment represents 10% of your genome. This setting is very useful, providing a reliably accurate estimate of ethnicity with a lower margin of error. So again, we got Africa Kingdom to occur, we got Africa North Culture, we got Celtic Britain, we got Alat Celt, we got Kalash, we got Levant Philistine, and we got Nilotic Kenya. But what changed there is they add Kalash, which now you can see we still got the African, you know, African influence, Celtic influence, start Celt influence. So a lot of Celtic, a lot of you know, Iranian, Greek and African. So it break down, and they give me for this Africa Attacker Kingdom 30%, Africa North Culture 20%, Celtic Britain 10%, Alstat Celt 10%, Kalash 10%, Levant Philistine 10%, Nilotic Kenya 10%. Now on a fourth oracle run, which is, you know, it says again, this mathematical setting divide your genome into two parts, which each represent alpha your genome. This setting is very useful for both highly mixed and more homogeneous ethnicity. This approach gives a very reliable albeit generalized interpretation of one ethnicity. So basically, Africa North Culture 50%, which, you know, it have to do with Nigeria, you know. So basically, what we consider to be a Nigerian, and Ostrogotic 50%. This one I'm not very sure what they have to deal with, but yeah. So this is really what my ancient ethnicity is, you know. Very, very, very detailed, very beautiful, and I really like it. Now we're gonna go and show for the recent one. So the recent one is even more better because it gives you ideas of the current moment. So we ain't gonna read all of that, but we're gonna go back to the main oral run. So like I explained again, there are four. The first one, it breaks it into 0.5%. So like I said, I'm gonna read it. This mathematical setting divide your genome into 200 fragments, which each fragment represents 0.5 of your genome. It's enabled to capture an identification of even the most distant origin. So they give me Guinea Gulf, Gascony, Senegambian, Arabia, Alania, Baltic, Balochistan, Bantu Angola, Uttar Pradesh, Bantu Tanzania, Asia Siberia, Bengal, England, Iran, Levantine, and Punjab. So basically, you see again. So they didn't. I don't think they put it all in there, but yeah. So Balochistan. So again, a lot of Arabian. We're gonna say that Persian. Iranian, African, Baltic, such as European influence, Central European, and all of that. So basically, this is what they give me. 40% for the Guinea Gulf. The Guinea Gulf is always connected to Senegal, Gambia, Ghana, and Sierra Leone and all of that, all the way to Guinea Gulf. Gascony is in France, near the Spain border, which is also connected with Basque people and stuff like that. I don't really have knowledge of this one. Senegambian, 13% Senegambian. We all know what Senegambian is, Senegal and Gambia. Arabia, which is in Bedouin, Arabia, the country. Elania, which is in the North Caucasus, near Georgia and stuff. Baltic, which is Latvian, Lithuania, all of that, close to Ukraine. And then Balochistan. Balochistan is Pakistani near Iran. They give me 2%. Bantu Angola, Bantu in Angola, close to Congo. Uttar Pradesh is in India. I never know about it, but yeah, Bantu Tanzania, So and then they got popular under 0.5 equal 3.0. So they don't represent enough to give me whatever. So this now we go into the second oral Quran. This mathematical setting divides your genome into 16 fragments, which each fragment represents 6.25 of your genome. This setting is very useful in estimating modern ethnic groups since this fragment corresponds perfectly to a DNA theoretically inherited from an individual great grandparent. So it would be the father of my father. No, so it would be the father of the father of the father of my father. So it would be Guinea Gulf, Senegambien, Gascony, Alania, Arabia, Balochistan, Balti, Catalonia. And then there we go. We see there Guinea Gulf, Senegambien, and all of that. So again, we still have Arabia. We got Balochistan. We got Alania. We got Catalonia. So a lot of Iranian, Pakistani, and African, European influence. They give me 37.5 for the Guinea Gulf, 18.75 for Senegambien, 12.5 Gascony, Alania 6.25. Arabia 6.25, Balochistan 6.25, Baltic 6.25, Catalonia 6.25. So basically that will mean that's what I inherited from my grandfather. And now this mathematical setting divides your genome into 8 fragments, which each fragment represents 12%. 0.5 of your genome. This setting is very useful in modern ethnicity estimates since the size of the generated fragment match perfectly the percentage of DNA inherited from a great grandfather. So from my great grandfather, which would be the father of my father, it will seems to be Senegambian, Gascony, Iran, and Zeskeli. And basically you can see those are the 4. And Senegambian, and they will give me a big, huge 62.5 for the Senegambian, and 12.5 for Gascony, 12.5 for Iranian, Persian, and 12.5 Skelly. So that will be East. So then after that, by 4, that's what was my grandfather was, but now they put this like this to show me what my father and my mother in general will be all combined together. So the mathematical setting divides your genome into 2 parts, with each fragment represent half of your genome. This setting is very useful for both ID mixing and more homogeneous ethnicity. This approach gives a very reliable, a bit generalized interpretation of one ethnicity. So they put me at East Balkan, the Balkan, and Guinea Gulf, which I explained what it was. So basically, with all the research I made, it seems as one of my grandfather from my father would be Senegambian and Nigerian, and the side of my mother would have a lot of Congo Bantu and East people, and then the side of the mother of my father will have some Iranian, some kind of Pakistani and Iraq, because it's like Palestine. I see sometimes Gujarati. Sorry if I don't say it right, but Persian and stuff like that. Kalash. So it seemed like sometime my ancestor would have been of India or Pakistan or Iraq or even Iran, but their true origin would have been Iranian and mixed with some Balkan and European influence. That's pretty much what I think. So yeah, so basically that's what it is, and I think this app, your DNA portal, is very underrated. It should very much be a tool for people to start using it and make it as a working tool, because it gives you great insight. I truly love it, and I'm looking forward to even go for more. So I thank you. Thanks for listening to me, and have a nice day.